The future of state elections up in the air a little after Governor Evers signed in new voting maps. Plus, there's a new challenge to abortion law in Wisconsin. CBS 58's Emilee Fannon, WisPolitics editor J.R. Ross discussed that and more in tonight's Capital Connection.
We first begin with a big story that WisPolitics first reported on that deals with a new Ethics Commission allegation that ties Donald Trump's Joint Financing Committee to a state representative. That's Janelle Brandtjen, a Republican. And it's all in part about this scheme to try to transfer $40,000 to a former opponent from Assembly Speaker Robin Vos. And JR, to put this in perspective, this can have a lot of weight carried to it and a possible investigation in the days ahead.
Well, Janelle Brandtjen is accused of committing a felony, essentially. State law says you can't hold office if you are convicted of a felony, so that's big stakes for her. The heart of this, though, is simple. Adam Steen, while challenging Robin Vos in that primary in 2022, and then in the write-in campaign for the November election, was trying to find a way around the limit of $1,000 per donor to his campaign. He's accused of scheming with others to funnel donations from donors to these 3 county parties that then went to Langlade County GOP to come back to him. Now, to denote these donations, they would write the number 63 in the memo line of these checks. That's the district Robin Vos represents. The second piece of this is the Save America joint fundraising operation. They are accused of scheming to direct $5,000 each, these 3 county parties, to then go to Adam Steen to help him out. Now, with Trump's operation, there's not a person singled out in the referral, so I'm not sure who might be responsible. These are, again, referrals. They go to now local district attorneys who are asked to investigate and prosecute. They have a timeline now. First, there's 40 days. They have to, if they don't act within 40 days, we'll send updates every 30 days. There's no activity within 60 days. The commission can go to the Department of Justice and ask for an investigation. A key thing to note with that first window, 40 days is right for our presidential primary in Wisconsin, April 2nd. So it could be an interesting week for Donald Trump before Wisconsin votes.
For sure. And also, of course, another big story is redistricting. As it was on Monday, Governor Tony Evers signed his own voting maps into law, which will mark a dramatic shift of the political landscape here in the battleground state. Why? Because under Evers' maps, Democrats now have the ability to drastically reduce Republicans' legislative majority, a chance that they have not had, JR, for more than a decade. But putting this into perspective now, we've talked to a lot of lawmakers. We've talked on this show before. There's a lot of pairings of incumbents that now share the same district. And it's in a sense that a lot of lawmakers are now going to have to reevaluate whether they want to stay in politics or whether they have to move to compete for their district.
Let's just look at Rob Cole's in Green Bay real quick. The governor's map creates a district in Green Bay that's Dem-leaning and has 3 Republicans drawn into it. Andre Jacques in the 1st district on the old maps, Eric Wimberger in the 30th, and then Rob Cole's in the 2nd. Rob Cole's district under the old maps went west of Green Bay. That sector is now open, so Rob Cole's told me he's going to move. He's lived in his condo for 20+ years. He's going to move in the 2nd district because that's his district. It's also a place where there's no other incumbent. The question, though, is when's he got to live there? You know, that kind of stuff, because state law says you must be an elector of the state for 1 year to be in office in the Assembly or Senate, and also must be a resident of the district when you assume the office. Well, when is that exactly? They're sworn in, they have to move there before they run for the office, like election time. There's all kinds of questions. Oh, by the way, I know you're a recent homeowner. Interest rates aren't great. The market's not great for a buyer. It complicates life. It makes you wonder, do I want to do this for a job that pays me less than $60,000 a year, upend everything, this opportunity to stay in office?
Very true. All right. Also this week, Planned Parenthood of Wisconsin filed a new lawsuit that's seeking to recognize the state constitution when it comes to abortion rights. Now, this is different than the other ongoing lawsuit that is challenging the 1849 near total abortion ban. But there is a little bit of a difference between the two.
So the existing petition for the court to decide, does 1849 law apply to abortion? That's a statutory challenge. This is asking the court to find a constitutional right in Wisconsin to an abortion. If Planned Parenthood is successful on that second one, you could then go back in, if you wanted to, and challenge other abortion laws in Wisconsin. For example, right now there's a ban after 20 weeks. You could challenge that. Parental consent for minors, the 24-hour waiting period. If you find a right to an abortion in the Constitution, then you have a foundation for those challenges to come down the line.
And what Planned Parenthood is asking the state Supreme Court is that they want them to rule on this case or to have both of the lawsuits concurred at the same time. So we'll see what happens there. All right, that will do it for this week's show. Thanks so much for joining us.